Ahoy toy! Welcome to Transfixed, the channel that is 10% inspiration, 40% perspiration, and 40% procrastination. What's the other 10%? I haven't gotten around to it yet. Tonight, right hot on the heels of the MechFansToys Sea Dragon, which is their highbrow, their inspiration bat showed up today, which is their MINDWIPE, of course. Before we get into it, this is my first video since hitting 1,000 subscribers, so I just want to give a real honest, heartfelt thanks to everybody watching this, everybody who subscribed. I really appreciate you guys taking the time to watch this silly stuff that I do, and even though I looked at my analytics, even though it's only about 2 minutes on average, I still appreciate it. This channel is mostly about mods and fixes for Transformers and other toys, but a lot of times I just fill it in with other stuff because if I don't have anything to fix, then I'll show off something that I might have gotten early or there's not a lot of other videos for, just to share the stuff that I'm getting into my collection. And I love reading all the comments from you guys and just talking about Transformers and other toys. It's just amazing to me that people are watching this, so thanks. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Sorry, I don't really have anything big planned because I wasn't expecting to roll over 1,000. Well, I do have that Seeker video I keep hinting at. Just waiting for something to show up in the mail, hopefully. But anyway, so with that out of the way, thanks. Let's get on to Inspiration Bat. So here's the box. Comes in, again, a nice G1 style package. So instead of MINDWIPE, he's Inspiration Bat. Instead of Vorath, the headmaster here is called Albite, I guess. So, yeah. Some images. He came out a little more on the pink side than I was expecting, but that's okay. Oh, I also, by the way, just as an aside, I'm not going to do a video on this, but I got an Ultra Magnus or Ultra Magnus. I just wanted the Diaclone version of Ultra Magnus. I love how he's mostly blue in vehicle mode, and it's just cool to see, you know, kind of the prototypical Ultra Magnus or big convoy, powered convoy, whatever he was called, before he became Ultra Magnus, when he was intended to be the upgraded Optimus Prime, yada yada. You probably know the story. If not, it's on TF Wiki. I'm going to do a lot of comparisons later, but one thing that struck me right off the bat as I first transformed this guy is how much he has borrowed from FansToys. Just as a quick side-by-side for now, there's the FansToys MINDWIPE, and you'll see, well, I don't know if you'll, I'm going to go through the transformation, and you'll see a lot of similarities. For example, the feet hanging off the butt here, the back canopy, the way the wings fold up, everything is definitely, shall we say, inspired by the FansToys. This is the only FansToys headmaster I have. That's because I'm a big MINDWIPE fan. I just love MINDWIPE. He's just super cool, I think so. But for now, let's talk about him. So he's got a nice range of motion in his limbs. He can do, let's see, he can't really get his arms up that much. These are on a ball joint. He can get them around. There's a swivel at this point here. His wings are very flexible. They're on a ball joint here, and they do expand up. You can display these. You can display them up higher, or you can straighten them out. There's a lot of options, same as the FansToys. So if you want them kind of big, like they did appear this way in the cartoon, like that. Speaking of the cartoon, I noticed that on this one, I don't think it's there on the other ones, but down here it says the Rebirth. But Rebirth was the name of the U.S. or Western version of the Transformers cartoon. The 4th season was just a 3-part miniseries about the Transformers headmasters and target masters, and it was supposed to be 5 parts, got cut down to 3 parts. It wasn't very good. I don't know if it's any... I'm trying to watch the Japanese headmasters series, but it's a bit rough. Anyway, let's get into this guy. Instructions are pretty good this time around. They don't really have any errors that I could find. He came with 2 of his rifle. All the headmasters seem to come with 2 guns for some reason. And it comes with a little display stand adapter, which I will show later. In this mode, I don't think you can really put him on a stand. There's kind of a hole here. It doesn't really fit anything, though. Yeah, he's got a little ball joint here on the feet, which gives him a nice posability. The hands don't have any articulation at the wrists or anything like that. But yeah, like I said, they do swivel here. And I need to put a little tiny Decepticon logo right there, if I can fit it. I guess that's about all there is for the robot mode. There is a swivel here. That's part of the transformation too. There's a lot of joints in his bat feet, but we'll get there. So let's take his head out for now. This one did not have a neck popping out, so that's good. So here's our little Vorath. Nice chromed visor and silver face. Let me get that centered, sorry. And we'll just open him up. The same idea as the other ones. His arms are on the same joint. It's got a little visor paint. Pretty good. And oh yeah, and of course he can sit down. So for the transformation, we want to put his feet away first. So you can see there's some hinges here. Just push the foot back, and this just collapses in on itself and hides away like that. And then these ones you want to spin both legs around, and then these link together because they're offset. These tabs are on both sides just for symmetry, but they just tab in together like that. And then these little pegs here are going to go into those holes. So you fold his legs up and oh, I forgot to show the chest panel. Sorry. This folds down and he's got his stats in there. I believe it's strength, speed, and intelligence, so he's got a bit more speed than the other attributes. So let's get these plugged in like I said here. There you go. Clicks right into place. You got to give it some force though. And you can see now his bat feet are down here. Now these don't really move. These are kind of locked in place by the transformation up here. But down here, they've got two joints. There's that ball joint that you can see, but the part that it sockets into also spins around. So you could have it facing like this, and he can kind of lean his feet back. I suppose that's why they do this, so that the best way is probably to aim the ball joint inward so that he can yeah, I guess it's like that, so that he can stand. If you want him to stand, that's probably the best way. Or maybe you want this forward so that he can lean forward a bit, because he is a bit back heavy with that big backpack of legs there. So this might be, that's probably the way I'll have him sitting when he's in bat mode. But we're not finished yet. So this whole assembly, just like the fans toys, this whole assembly pivots around so that you can get the wings to the back, and then the arm. You want to, well, I forgot to put away the hand. It's got the typical little compartment here. Transform it the other way. It's nice that there's a little tab there to help you get the hand out. And then this hand will go, let's see, this way to have his speakers there for mind control. And you can have it straight. You can kind of, it doesn't really tab in anywhere. It looks like this screw hole here should accept this, but it's not really big enough. It doesn't really, it kind of lines up, but it doesn't really slot in there. So you kind of just have it straight, or the instructions show it tilted. I find if you tilt it too much, it looks like he's got his hands on his hips though. But let's get finished so I can show you all that. Put this around, his hand away. I guess the hand should be the first step, but I forgot. And then, yeah, so the ball joint of the wings needs to be rotated around as well. And you can see that he's now a bat, except for the head, which is, of course, in here. Now this, you kind of have to angle it to get his ears out. Kind of angle it back and forth. And this is a really nice bat head. And of course, Vorath can go in there. So this is on the ball. And you can see there's some really nice chromed red paint for the eyes. And the mouth even opens up. He's got sharp little teeth there. This is a lot like the fans toys. So you can have your screeching bat there. And like I said, this is the way the instructions kind of show. I think that looks like his hands are on his hips. So I tend to just straighten these out and put it like that. Make it a bit more like the original old school one. And yes, of course, like I said, you've got options with his wings. They even can fold back if you want. They have him kind of in a resting pose. Let's get those toes squared away. Yeah, and I think this looks very good. It's a nice looking bat mode. I don't have any bat jokes, so that's probably a good thing. It's very stable. Those nice big feet do help him with the backpack. And here's the stand adapter. Now this doesn't really plug in anywhere, but you want to have the long tab facing the legs, and it just sits in between. It just kind of sits in there. It's not secure, but if you put it in there, and then let's pull out our trusty stand here with that square part, right? That plugs in there, and then he should, this is the first time I've done this, he should display nicely on the stand. Yeah. I think I finally have a use for this stand. Good stuff. Pretty cool, I think. And there isn't anywhere that I found to store his weapons on his back. The MechFansToys one goes in the middle of his legs. It's a shame they didn't have a little tab where they could plug into the side here. That would be a good spot for them. But I don't think so. There's nothing in the instructions about it. I can't figure anything out. Not that that's saying much, but anyway, there he is in bat mode. Okay, comparison time. So here he is with the Weird Wolf from MechFansToys. Now we're just waiting on Skullcruncher. It's funny how the Decepticons only have 3 headmasters, whereas the Autobots get 4. Here he is with the Takara Titan's Return MINDWIPE, and this one has upgraded feet from Nonif. They're ball-jointed feet because the original feet don't have any articulation. They just kind of doesn't stand flat like this. They they're just unarticulated, so he stands on the corners of his feet. So this is not a bad one. At least this one has the right colors here. There's purple arms, unlike the US release. Still not a bad figure. And here he is with the G1 original. Well, it's a knockoff technically, but I can't tell the difference. Only your retailer knows for sure. The headmasters in G1 were much larger. Let's see his stats since we got him out. Aha, yep, pretty close. Oh, it's speed, strength, and intelligence. Okay, so he's relatively strong then. And here's all 4 of them together. Boy, that MechFansToys one is huge, so I'm having to back the camera up here. So you can see there's quite a variation in the colors. I suppose they're going for a more cartoon-accurate look. So it's a lighter, almost a fuchsia, I would say. Fuchsia, more like a fuchsia than a purple. But so is the MechFansToys. So, yeah, although the MechFansToys has that nice metallic paint. But honestly, it's not the best figure. It's a little more complicated than you'd expect, considering the G1. How it transforms. It's most interesting just to find out how the wings and arms rotate around to get to the right place on both modes. The way the legs transform, there's a little tab and everything spins around. Everything kind of has to spin around twice. A little bit simplified on this guy, thankfully. That's one reason I really like these Legends Plus figures, is because they are easier to transform. So if you want them in the other mode, it's not a pain in the butt. It doesn't take an hour to get them into the other mode. I like that. I'm a simple person, you know. So that does it for Inspiration Bat. I do love MINDWIPE. I even have the movie one, but I'm not going to go dig that one out because it's not really relevant. But yeah, I was going to do a MINDWIPE collection video, but I guess this covers it. And I'll end it here. Like I said, analytics, 2.5 minutes. I'll try to keep these videos a bit shorter going forward if I can. Again, thanks very much for watching, for subscribing, for commenting. Am I overdoing it? I am Canadian after all. Okay, anyway, that's all for me. Thanks for watching. Good night.